Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is John. I'm an American that's been living here in China for over 13 years, almost 14 years. And today we're going to talk about why a lot of Chinese people may assume that foreigners are rich. And I actually have an article to share with you as well about this topic, or kind of about this topic, but it might give you some insight as to why Chinese people will think this. But before we dive into the article, if you don't mind, hit the like button. It'll really help me out a lot and help other people find my videos. And hit the subscribe button if you want to come back and see some more videos. Anyway, here's the article. You can see here, it's brand new. This article was published in 2023. You can see the date there. It's October the 26th, so it's just a few days old. And this is about the rising minimum wage standards in China. So if we scroll down, you can see here, Shanghai leads with the highest monthly minimum wage among all the other places in China, right? And you can see their minimum wage standard is $370 US per month. Okay, let me say that again. $370 US per month. Okay, and then if we look a little bit further down, you can see Beijing sets the bar with the highest hourly minimum wage of $3.70 per hour. Okay, $3.70 per hour. And then if we look down just a little bit further, you can see some of the other places have raised their minimum wage standards to about $275 US per month. So if you're outside of Shanghai or Beijing, the minimum wage standard is probably around $275 US per month. So now that we know that, now you might have an understanding of why Chinese people assume foreigners are rich, because the standard salary for most foreigners, like most of the foreigners here are teaching, is usually between $2,200 US to $5,000 US per month. So even on the lower end of the spectrum, if you're only making $2,000 per month, the average standard minimum wage worker in China is making $370 US per month. So you're already making, 4 or 5 times more than a standard minimum wage employee. And if you're on the higher end of the spectrum, then you're making $5,000 a month. That's like 13 or 14 times more money than the standard minimum wage employee in China. So you can see why a lot of Chinese people may assume foreigners are rich, or why they think we have a lot of money or something like that. Just to give you an example, like I'm not even in a tier 1 city. Okay, I'm in Foshan, China, which is still a big city, and they have Guangdong has a really high GDP and a high standard of living and things like that. Like here, I pay $300 US per month for my apartment. You can actually go back, I made a video about it. You can go back and tour my apartment if you want. You can see it, and if you're interested to see what it looks like, and how much I paid for it and all that stuff. I made a video about that. Go check it out. $300 a month is what I pay for my apartment. And like, for example, in this city, the average worker is probably making, according to this article, about $275 US per month. So they're not even making enough money to pay my rent. So you can kind of understand why a lot of younger Chinese people are still living at home with their families, because the cost of even renting an apartment is very, very expensive compared to the cost, or compared to the salary of the average, minimum wage employee. So if they're working in a factory or like some store, supermarket or something like that, they're not making enough money to be able to even, rent a proper or decent apartment, just like a normal, like Western standard, right? They'll have to opt for a place that most foreigners wouldn't want to live. But I won't say it's a bad place, but it's just different culturally, and the standard of the housing and stuff is much different than what most foreigners are used to, and they don't have the option to even have a higher standard of living because they don't earn enough to even pay the rent. That being said, a lot of Chinese employers, well, most of them actually that I've ever seen, they do usually offer free housing accommodation. Like they usually have a dormitory for the workers, and a lot of times they're shared dormitories. Like you'll have like 2 to 4 to 8 people living in one apartment together, and like 2 people share one bedroom or something like that. It's kind of standard for a lot of dormitories in China. But even then, if you have a free apartment, you still only have $275 per month to buy food, or to have some type of social life, or to buy clothes, or whatever, you know, whatever it is you want to buy, to go out to eat, to socialize with friends. It's nearly impossible to do on, you know, that much of a salary, especially for like the migrant workers, because they also need to save money because they need to travel back home to see their family every year. Every time there's holiday, they always go back and forth back home to visit their family, and you know, all their money is spent. So for the average Chinese person, it can be a hard life if they're working a standard minimum wage job, and it can be very difficult. And that's why a lot of times they will assume us foreigners are rich or have a lot of money. So keep that in mind whenever you're traveling abroad to other countries, especially in China, all over Asia as well. It's kind of similar idea, but even less money in other countries in Asia. So, you know, keep that in mind when you're traveling around. Hope that's helpful. I hope you like the video and watch some more videos up here, and I'll see y'all next time.